All the components in the AC system are connected by a series of hoses. In this video, we'll identify each type of hose that's functioning in the system, common reasons for failure, followed by a few tips for installers and counter persons when replacing or ordering hoses online. This is just a basic AC hose, rubber hose, special lining inside just to take care of the pressure of the AC system. Now this is special AC hose. You can't use heater hose, fuel line, anything like that. If you ever have to replace an AC hose, it has to be specified for air conditioning. Hoses will have different fittings. Always going to be metal on the end, aluminum or steel. It may have different switch ports, but this is your basic setup for an AC hose. This is your discharge hose. Now this connects the compressor and the condenser and just transfers the refrigerant. This particular one has a switch port for your high pressure switch. You'll see these ports in different locations. They could be on the very end, anywhere in the hose. And a lot of times where you'll see your leaks is at the crimps. So when you're leak testing, you're looking for dye, always take a look at these crimps. This is a suction hose, and one thing you'll notice about it, the diameter of the hose is a lot bigger than the discharge line. On the suction side, you don't need as much pressure, so you can have a larger inside diameter of the hose. This one has a sealing washer on the end. You could have sealing washers, you can have threads, you could have a spring lock fitting. Just always make sure that you're replacing O-rings, seals, whatever's there. Make sure they're new when you put them back just to keep from leaking. Now the other main hose in the AC system is the liquid line. This goes between the condenser and the evaporator. On an orifice tube system, it will have the orifice tube in it. It could either be at either end or like this one where it's actually in the hose here. And the way you would change this one, the orifice tube here, is take this connection apart, the orifice tube's here, put it back together. But this is still all considered your liquid line. Now this line is actually the suction and discharge like we talked about a few minutes ago, but it's actually one assembly. So what happens here is you have one bolt that bolts this whole assembly to the compressor. So if you're looking up a discharge line for a customer or a suction line for a customer for this particular application, or any application like this that has this type of hose, this is what you're going to be getting. They're going to be getting the full manifold assembly. Hoses like these, this has a muffler actually on either side. These have baffles on the inside of them. The hoses are offset from the ports. You can't flush these. Anytime you have a line with a muffler in it and you have a catastrophic failure on your compressor, don't try to flush the line. Go ahead and change it to keep from having repeat failures. This type of line is actually a suction liquid line assembly. Now what this one does is it's just got the suction and the liquid line together, one bolt that holds it to the expansion valve. So if you are looking up a liquid line, you're going to get this assembly. If you're looking up a suction line, you're going to get this assembly. Just remember that they do come together, so just be mindful of the catalog and how it's in there. Most of the time your new line will come with new O-rings. If it doesn't, just make sure you're putting new O-rings there. This one is for a Ford Taurus, and if you notice on this one you have your accumulator, and most of your suction line is attached to this as well. When you order an accumulator for this one, you're actually going to get this main part of this suction line with it as well. Some applications like some Dodge pickups, the orifice tube is going to be in the line, but it's not going to be removable. It's going to be somewhere inside the line. You can actually see it. There'll be little dimples in the line where it's at just to keep it from moving through the tube. But when you order an orifice tube, you're going to get a liquid line. If you order a liquid line, you're going to get a liquid line with an orifice tube in it. So if you see a note in the catalog that specifies that a particular AC kit won't be able to qualify for the overnight saver special freight, more than likely it's going to have a part like this where it's got an orifice tube and the liquid line. You can't change it. We try to have all that in there for you just to make it easy. But if there's ever any questions, just give us a call. So with 1234YF on the market now, you just have to be a little bit more careful. It does have a different hose. The inside's going to have a different lining. It's a special non-permeable lining. There's just regulations to make sure that there's no possibility for a leak on a 1234YF system. So to wrap up this module, we're just going to leave you with a few tips when diagnosing and changing hose assemblies. 2014 and up GM vehicles, you may have noticed a lot of leaks in the discharge line coming off the compressor. What's going on with those is the factory ones were aluminum, and over time and just vibration they would break and cause leaks. We offer 2 different hoses. We offer a replacement aluminum economy hose, fit, function just like original, but we do offer an upgraded steel hose that you don't have to worry about the leaks, and it also has a muffler just like the original one did as well. For installers, one thing to note on the GM vehicles is the placement of the discharge port. It doesn't just apply to GM vehicles, but this one has the suction and discharge port here together. Now, with your discharge port being in the liquid line, you're actually, when you hook your gauge to it, you're actually reading the pressure after the condenser. So it's hard to tell if you have a block condenser if you're actually not reading the pressure before the condenser. If you're testing condenser on a vehicle that has the discharge port and the liquid line, it's best to go ahead and test by temperature. We do sell temperature testers that you can actually hook to the line and check the temperature of the line for diagnosis instead of relying on a service port that may not give you accurate readings. One good tip to remember as well, your O-rings, it's best to just lubricate those with mineral oil. Mineral oil is not hydroscopic like PAG oil is, so mineral oil will keep from breaking down that O-ring, making it mushy. It'll just keep from giving you leaks and repeat failures.